Hello, 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 y'all. It's me, your host, SB. And y'all know where I'm at. I'm here at the Black Manosphere Conclave 2023. And I got a guest with me. Guess who it is? It's Mr. Obsidian. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty well.
Listen, Obsidian's busy. He's been speaking all day. So, how do you think that the conclave is going so far?
Better than expected. We got off to a bit of a rough start because of the technical snafus at the last minute. But everything, as Kevin would say, we're building the plane while we're flying. It got off to a rocky start, but everything is flying high now, so I feel good.
Well, good. Thank you so much for agreeing to come out here and speak with me. So, listen, guys, you all at SB Nation already know. SB plugged in to YouTube about 2 years ago and found herself being a part of the Manosphere, not knowing what the Manosphere was about or anything. So, since then, I've been having a lot of questions, and this is the man to ask because he is one of the founders of the Black Manosphere. So, help me out a little bit. Tell me first about how I got plugged in to the Manosphere just by plugging in to YouTube and advocating for men.
I think that's more of a function of the YouTube algorithm itself, more so than anything coming from the Black Manosphere. The way algorithms work, if you make content and you fashion it in such a way that it has similarity with other content, the algorithm will aggregate you, all together and kind of put you all in the same feeds and stuff like that.
Okay.
As for the Black Manosphere itself, I got my start in what would be known as a white manosphere, I guess you could say. And that was circa 2008, 2009. And circa 2015, I left voluntarily to create what would become the Black Manosphere. And that happened as a result of an interview that I did with Roosh V. And at the time, Bill Cosby's trial was going on, Me Too and so forth. And I had asked him what particular challenges black men faced, and his response, he's a Persian background, Iranian. And he said, that's something for black men to answer themselves. So I took that as a cue for time for us to do just that and answer our own questions. And that's how the Black Manosphere came into existence. I did it because I got tired of kind of like a lopsided, what I refer to as a non-versation. Black women as a group have kind of had the public square to themselves for a very long time. Oprah and Essence and so forth. And the black men that they had conversations with were kind of handpicked, Hill Harper and Steve Harvey and so forth. And I kind of got tired of being overlooked and on the periphery, on the margins, and so I decided to do something about it. So on June 2nd, 2015, at exactly 10:15 a.m., I did the very first podcast on YouTube. Back then, live streaming wasn't available. And you couldn't even do longer videos back then. You had to do really relatively short videos, as I did like 15 minutes. And I started out in my bathroom. Yeah. I had a laptop, Dell laptop, and I had a cheap headset mic, that's like $20. And I used the bathroom because it being, tight, it approximated sound booth. So I sat the laptop on the sink and I sat down on the toilet commode and I recorded my very first podcast. So it all started with me talking sugar honey iced tea.
All right. And since then, how much? Well, let me ask this question. What was the problem with black men in 2015?
Well, the problem that from where I saw it, was like I said, a lot of black men were kind of left out. The rank and file black man, I put it that way. The rank and file black man was kind of left out of these non-versations regarding, because a lot of ladies were having their say from reaching all the way back to the 80s and talking about the ways in which black men had their shortcomings and so on and so forth. And there was never anybody on the other side representing for the fellas. Like I said, you had your Hill Harpers and your Steve Harveys. They were always kind of like apologists. You know, see, the men are this way, you have to forgive them because you have to be patient with them, that sort of thing. But there was nobody doing an active pushback on it. And I'm a natural, irascible sort, so I decided to jump in.
So you're saying basically the problem in 2015 that there was just no place for a man could actually go and express themselves about whatever issue he had. So
Right, in an immediate sense, yeah.
Media sense. So
Yeah.
it's just like a larger barber shop.
Yeah, very much so. And most black women, you know, it's funny, I was talking about this over on Clubhouse. I've been over there now for just under a year, kind of like being a Martian on Earth, so to speak. And the thing I said to a lot of ladies over there, I'll say here, many black women really don't understand how much black men in their presence will change up how they speak. The things that black women hear from black men are not the same things that black men say to themselves. So let's go back to the barbershop metaphor. The black manosphere is kind of like a raw feed. The feed that black women get from black men is not a raw feed. It's a carefully curated feed.
Correct.
But the feed that they will get from the black manosphere is a raw feed, and they've never seen that feed before or heard that feed before. So this is the reason why a lot of ladies hearing the black manosphere in its various forms is kind of a shocking and jarring experience because they never hear that before. And in the barbershop environment, most black women don't go there. Most black women hear about the barbershop, and they may, you know, do a drive-by. If they have a small son, they may take him to the barbershop. But outside of that, most black women just don't post up in the barbershop. So the barbershop kind of has that raw feed element as well. So that kind of translated over to social media as social media became to be more ubiquitous, and as technology, such that we're doing right now, became more available to a rank and file black man. Beyond, like, radio is very expensive. Even like small pirate radio stations, that's very expensive. Getting the FCC license, very expensive. So all of the equipment, the cameras and the podcasting equipment, the microphones and the computers, even a smartphone, those were much more accessible to the rank and file black man. And you had this big radar dish known as social media. So you could have these black men getting together and commiserating and trading notes and having these conversations that are approximating the raw feed of the barbershop. But now black women writ large could like tune in, and we're off to the races.
Listen to actual thoughts of men.
Yeah, unfiltered. Yeah, yeah.
That they would actually have in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Now you're listening. So what has been your feedback from women since 2015?
Oh my goodness.
In a nutshell.
Shock. I think a lot of ladies are in shock. And in a way, I can't really like knock them for that because black women get lied to a lot. And it's not just from the Derek Jacksons or the Steve Harveys of the world, although that is a factor. I think it's black women lie to each other a lot. Many families will lie to black women about the realities of dating and mating. Society writ large will lie to black women. Well, to be fair, not just black women, but women in general. I'm talking about body positivity and so on and so forth. So bringing it back to black women in particular, it's a shock because it's so different from what they've been told all day, every day of their lives. So it's almost kind of like black men are saying two different things. You know, a lot of black men say one thing to black women in their presence, and then, you know, amongst ourselves, we say something completely different. So it's a very shocking experience.
Yeah, that goes back to what you and I were talking about as to why a woman thinks that she could smack a man
Yeah.
and it would be okay.
Yeah.
Because she's been doing that and she was told that men are not going to hit a woman.
Yeah.
But now in
Yeah.
2023, you don't assault anyone. You don't put your hands on anyone because the truth of the matter is you wasn't supposed to do it at any given time.
Well, that's the outgrowth of equality. That is the sine qua non of our time, is diversity, equity, inclusion, equality. Many women in general, black women, in particular for our conversation, very much want equality, and part of equality is you want equal rights, you get equal lefts. So, you know.
So listen, that is what do you think about equality? What do you think about it? Because let me just tell you, I will never be equal to a man. I don't even want to be equal to a man. But as a man, do you understand that I don't want to be equal with you? Can you just, as I walk in the room, do you know that this woman doesn't want to be equal?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a big battle, internecine battle as well among black women, you know, the whole pick me battle, you know. Black women who publicly articulate a view such as yourself will be assailed by certain other black women as a pick me, mammy, you know, kind of a dupe for, you know, black men who want to use you up and that sort of thing. Me, it's very affirming to me as a man for a woman like yourself. Say, listen, I'm not a man. I don't have any interest in being a man. There's certain things that are just beyond my purview, and that, you know. But I would also say that you are increasingly becoming the minority. That there are black women who are of the view, and they don't always explicitly articulate it, but they are of the view that they can do what men do, and that's fine, but then they can't, you know, do what men do and then receive, you know, some masonry upside the head and then turn to the men and say, why don't y'all protect me?
Exactly.
You know?
Wasn't
Yeah.
that the craziest?
Yeah.
Right, the brick gate, y'all.
Yeah.
She wanted to do what men do, and then when the brick came up, now she wanted the men's protection.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they don't see that this can't live together.
Yeah.
It can't be this way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good example. But listen, let's go back because you mentioned his name, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
He is now considered the simp whisperer over at SB Nation. But I happen to love Steve.
I actually like, I mean, I never met him, but I actually like Steve Harvey. I mean, I don't have a personal axe to grind against him. But do I consider him a simp? I do. I consider Dr. Boyce Watkins a simp. I consider him a senior fellow of advanced SIP studies at the Panda Bear Institute, Dr. Watkins. But yeah, I do consider Steve Harvey a simp. He's a simp for hire. He's a simp for pay. He tells a lot of black women what they want to hear, not what's not necessarily true. And he's very good at it. He's made a lot of money at it. I don't begrudge him that. This is what America's all about. You can definitely simp to great effect in the United States if you like. So.
He is definitely the simp whisperer. But what do you think about him being a simp with his wife? Currently, most recent rumors we've heard is that maybe, allegedly, that Miss Marjorie was having some relations outside of the marriage.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that?
Yeah, a number of people have been asking me to weigh in on this. I'm very wary. I'm very careful with gossip topics.
Absolutely.
And I've done some preliminary investigation into this over the weekend here at the Conclave. From what I've found, the rumors appear to be unfounded so far. But I will say this, that aside, just him being with Miss Marjorie Harvey. Yeah, I understand why he's with her. She's a very beautiful lady. But yeah, it did set off a simp alarm. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I don't do the gossip either. I'm very reluctant to talk about people in their marriages in their home because you never know what's going on, and to start spreading rumors is not good. But the last I heard, and it's just like you, unfounded. Steve came on and said we're good.
Yeah.
He made a video,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna believe him with that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a man simping for his wife is actually great. Why not? If you had to simp for any woman, why not be your wife? So
Right.
I am, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I have no issues with that. So,
Yeah.
we have to wait and see. And I hope that that's not the case. I hope that she is and has been a good wife to him and will continue to be.
Yeah, because if indeed there is any credence to any of this, the feeding frenzy will ensue. So,
Hope not.
yeah.
That would be, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about
so I hope for his sake and all of ours that it's not true, just definitively not true. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question because I don't know much about you. I know you have a ring on your ring finger there, but are you married?
No.
No. Never been married? No. Are you interested in being married?
Not particularly, no. Those. I'm 54. I don't look it, but I'm 54, and around 20 something years ago, I said screw it. So, haven't regretted the decision, and I am a confirmed bachelor, and I am not gay. So,
Oh, Lord.
because as soon as you say something like that, you must be gay. No, I'm not gay. Yeah, so.
No, this is SB Nation. People over here understand me. They understand what's going on. We're a little more rational than some. But so confirmed bachelor. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's good to hear. Now, me, I happen to think, and I want every man that wants to be married to do so,
Yeah.
because I happen to think the nuclear family is the way to get the black community back intact. I hate to see it the way that it is now, men and women fighting against each other. And like I said, you are an eligible. Well, I can't say you're eligible anymore because you've confirmed it. You're a bachelor and you're happy with it. So, those
Well,
are
I've been with a lady now for almost 15 years. Quite a few people in my audience know who she is. A number of people here have met her before. She's not here this weekend, but we've been together. And people say, "Well, how come y'all never got married?" It's because I didn't want to get married, and she didn't want to get married, I don't know why it's a big scandal. I just got finished talking about Steve Harvey's personal life. I've never. It's kind of odd why some people take an interest in my personal life. I don't think it's all that interesting, to be brutally frank. But nevertheless, we are the norm now, me and my lady. We're the norm. The norm is most black American men and women are not married. That's just a fact.
I hate to say it, but
So,
yeah, you're right. It is
so
the
I
norm.
don't,
I
yeah,
hate to say that because
yeah,
I like traditional.
yeah.
So to have a man like yourself, to be of sound mind, you seem to be, you don't have the appearance to be someone that's out there, you're not a pookie, you're not living like that at all. So you are an established man, and that would be someone that you want to be married.
Yeah.
I would want you to be the daddy of the family, the head, and all of that.
I have had a few close calls. I was able to successfully dodge a few attempts to get me married off like Neo in the Matrix, so I
Oh,
did do that.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you would be one of those ones I would want to be a husband.
You remind me of my Aunt Bernice.
I, this
Every time we would get together, she said, Obsidian, now you're getting older. It's time to find a nice lady and settle down. And yes, Aunt Bernice. Let me go over here. I'll be right back. I gotta go over here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am that one. I am.
Yeah,
we
kind
have-
of slip away.
We want good men to have good women.
Yeah.
To be the face of our community, because for so long,
Yeah.
you know that it hasn't been so positive.
Yeah.
The media portrays us as being basically kind of trashy.
Yeah.
So if we have any way that we can uplift that, have a good, picture of what the black community looks like,
Yeah.
nuclear family, then anybody that can contribute to that, that is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I push on my channel.
Yeah.
It really is. So,
Why do they call you security boss? I'm just curious.
well, about 4 years ago now, no, about 3 years ago now, Security Boss is actually real. My husband and I own a security firm.
Okay.
So when I came into this, it was not as Security Boss unsolicited. I wasn't giving relationship advice. I wasn't even talking about my personal life. I was talking more about my personal professional life. And it was called Security Boss Making the Cut. And what I did was I interviewed young men and women that wanted jobs in a security, industry. And what happened was, every time I would interview someone, mostly men, the interview would last about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they would just start talking to me. Just whatever. They would just like, it's like I haven't talked to anybody in 5 years. Can I, and they would just tell me everything. And I always got so much from these men. Men are always, they're just vocal. They would just tell me all things about their mom, their relationships, their hardships, good things, everything. And so I was like, wow. So the interview that was 10 minutes, 15 minutes ended up being an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. So
You're a good conversationalist?
very good. So we would actually videotape all our interviews for lots of reasons. And so we started looking at them and was like, wow, this could be, we should put this on, on YouTube. And that's what we did. And what happened is I went to TLA. I was on his platform 2 years, actually, in September, 2 years ago. He was like, SB, you know what? You need to separate this, because this is, they don't know how to find you. If they want relationship advice, they're definitely not going to go to your professional channel. You need to separate it. So that's exactly what I did. And that's how we came up with Security Boss Unsolicited. Now, I promise you this is a true story. We didn't know about Boss Chicks. I didn't know about it.
About them.
I appreciate the fact that women want to make money, but I think they should do it in a way of wanting to be an asset for their husbands in marriage versus I don't need a man. Because of myself, I'm security boss, which is a real thing, but I am the boss of something, but I don't carry that demeanor nor attitude, whereas I don't need my husband to be there. And I want to say to ladies who are boss chicks that think they don't need men or think that their monies will supersede the relationship or a marriage, that is so foul and fake, it's not real, because I can be anybody I want to be within my marriage. I'm still a wife first. My marriage is what comes first. So even in that, I sell houses. I've been a realtor since 2001. Made lots of money. You know, even like I was a boss chick at one time. My income superseded what my husband's business made, but it didn't keep me from giving to, one pot so my husband could reinvest his money and come up with another business. And that's exactly what we did. So that is what I find negative about being a boss chick, having to flaunt it or being arrogant in the fact that you are, a business owner. And is it actually real? I would say being a boss, you got to bench more than just yourself. I would think it would be somebody, you're employing people, you're paying them, and different things of that nature. But if you're not doing that, hey, okay, I don't want to take away from you, but
Something tells me the boss chicks, as they have been defined and identified, take a much differing view than you do.
they do. But I don't understand why, because a lot of them are still married. They are married. A lot of them have husbands. I've seen, they got a whole show or several reality shows about women who are boss chicks per se. And they all are married and the husbands are kind of just like taking a back seat, which is okay to do so because I'm the face of our business also. But again, everybody knows that chief exists. They know that, and the final decision is up to my husband, and I don't have a problem with it because I don't want that. I don't want the role. I don't want everything on me. I'd rather just be the lady and relax a little bit, smell good, get my hair done,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they give away that by being a boss chick, but that's just something, another way to, it's like to me another line of fear if they're not married, just some sort of exterior something to make you feel better about yourself or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it could be coming from being, the opposite of Manosphere. A fight, a way to fight back towards or against what you all are saying. Could it be? 'Cause you all
There has been a pushback against the Black Manosphere in the 8 years that has been created. As we speak, there are passport sisters. Kind of the response, I guess you could say, the passport bros, I guess you could say. So yeah, there's that tit for tat element. I think it's kind of comical myself.
Yeah, because I had a lady the other day, and she don't know what she's asking. She's like, my black man is in Africa. I was like, say it again.
Yeah.
You want an African man as rowdy as you are, you don't even know what you're asking for. You don't even know the type of life you would need to live to be married to an African man. Why are you saying that? But I didn't even go into it. I just said, okay, this was all in opposed to me coming here.
Yeah.
She was like, why would you be down there representing or, talking to them?
Yeah, you faced some fierce opposition from ladies
I do.
because your intention to be here for this event.
Yeah, I did a little. But, I told my husband, you know what, this is now getting to be kind of funny. It's just like you said, comical. To the point now it doesn't bother me. Initially, you want people to plug into your show, like your point of view, join in if possible. But now the trolls are welcome, and whatever you say, I got something for you. Make sure you're ready. But, it doesn't take anything from me.
Well, trolls are definitely a sign that you've arrived, that's for sure.
Oh, well, I got enough.
Yeah.
I got enough of them, but yeah, I see it now as very comical and actually kind of enjoyable to some degree because they do keep the flow of the show going. And if I want to entertain one or two, then I can, because when I start entertaining, they always fall back. They don't really want, it's almost, I tell them, I say, are you some sort of crony being sent here by Cynthia G?
Do you think Cynthia G is tuning in?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No?
I don't. She has her own brokenness that she needs to deal with, and she don't want to hear anything I have to say. But I do have someone that tunes in regularly that always gives me a thumbs down at the first one in. At first, I was like, you come here to watch my show.
Yeah, hate watching. Yeah.
Hate watching, but you've got your alerts on, waiting for me to go live, just so you can come in and give me the thumbs
Thumb
down.
down. Yeah.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah. People will do that.
They will, they will. But you know, it is what it is. But again, I thank you for being here. And anytime you can empower a group of men, black men at that, that's a good thing.
Yeah. We hope to do this again next year. We got another day tomorrow, but hope to do this again next year. We're talking about going to Houston this time.
Okay.
So yeah, this has been the biggest one we've done so far. We've done 3. This makes 3, and this is the biggest one we've done so far. So it's a sign that we're doing something right.
I agree. I agree. So listen, I'm not gonna keep you long, but my last question to you is this:
Yeah.
I am a woman. I appreciate the fact that I got an invite here. I am one of only. I mean, there are definitely some hostesses there, and I appreciate them too. But what role do you think, if any, a woman needs to play in the Black Manosphere?
Yeah, that's been a topic of some debate for some time now. I think that there'll always be women around men because of the intrinsic. I like the way Scott Galloway, NYU professor, put it. Sex is kind of like the peanut butter and chocolate of civilizations. And you have to have that between male and female. Otherwise, your civilization starts falling apart. And there will always be women drawn to the Black Manosphere, especially if the Black Manosphere is winning. Because women across the board, including black women, kind of hardwired evolutionarily to be with winners. So as the Black Manosphere continues to win, you're going to see black women wanting to be in and around it. That's just the state of things. And increasing presence of women in and around the Black Manosphere is a sign that the Black Manosphere is winning. And I think that their place is to reinforce the fact that we're winners. We're winners.
Okay, so you like Reese cups?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hear you.
yeah,
I do too.
yeah.
I do too. And you listen, I agree with you. I do know, and I do feel that men are definitely winning. Women are not winning right now. I did a whole video about that a couple days ago. That women are losing because they know, or they feel as though they need men, as far as nothing else but for their pleasures. But they don't want to submit to the leadership that they actually asked for. Women ask for it. We ask to be led because this is just like what you just said. When they're looking at the men and they're winning, they want to be around them. Why?
Yeah.
Because they're winning.
Yeah.
Then they don't want to submit to the order of them winning because of why?
Yeah, but then you said the whole thing about the pleasures. I don't want it just to get too bald, but yeah, because that's kind of interesting to me. So the ladies are submitting in a horizontal sense. I'll put it that way.
They will get up underneath the
Yeah.
man, but don't want the man to lead.
In the vertical sense, they don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I say it all the time. You don't want to be with a man, but you will lay up underneath
Right.
the man with just a hello. After a hello, I don't even have to know your whole name.
Yeah.
You submit your whole will to me, but you say you don't want the leadership. Really? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's that's kind of interesting to me.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. But in any event, yeah, it's a sign that we're winning, and the the lovely ladies, they were the ones that made the passport bros a thing. They did. It was the ladies that made the passport bros viral.
Oh, viral. Gotcha.
So that's another example of all this. You know, women wanting to be in and around the Black Manosphere in various forms, and a sign that the Black Manosphere is winning. So
Listen, keep it up. Keep up what you're doing. I want to see black men win. You're a great representation of what we need to look like. This is a great representation for our community.
yeah,
I hope that more men follow. What I would add is to continue to talk to women and let them know, hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a lady. It's nothing wrong with acknowledging that the men win. You know, you all were here before us. God just saw a need for us, but you all were here by yourself initially. I
Yeah.
wonder why. I wonder sometimes, does he wonder why did I do that? But anyway,
Yeah.
that's exactly how creation started, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
Well, yeah.
That's my belief.
Yeah, and the rest they say is history.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to continue to have women or to talk to women, see if they can get on the same page as our men. Because I do believe there may be just a remnant of women that are out there that will get it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I ain't doing nobody no good because I'm already married. But I can tell others that they can do someone some good, because there are some single women out there that are willing and can adapt to the leadership of a man. And I think women need to be covered.
We can hope. We can hope.
Hope.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so
okay.
much. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much for being here.
Okay.
Guys, SB Nation, listen, it's been real. We're tired. It's at the end of the day, but I hope y'all enjoyed this. And guess what? We got one more day of the Black Manosphere Conclave. And until then, y'all have a good night. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.